live. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada. And I'm excited to be here with you to share a scrapbook layout using this month's Time for Cake Paper Pumpkin Kit. But before we get started, I just wanted to remind you of a few things. First of all, until the 31st of August, we've got some designer series paper in the annual catalog that is on sale for 15% off. There's a selection of it. So you can find that on my website. So there are some that have sold out already. We will be getting more in, but unfortunately, they might not return in time for the sale. So take a look at that, see if there's anything on your wish list that is on sale. It's always nice to save a bit of money. And then if you earned any bonus coupons last month in July, make sure that you redeem those by the 31st of August as well. Okay. All right. The other thing that I wanted to chat with you about is an upcoming event. So in September, on September 14th, I'm doing a Fall in Love with Autumn memory keeping event. So from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m., we will be doing memory keeping projects. So we'll be it includes 3 classes. So 2 of them are two-page scrapbook layouts, and the third one is a piece of home decor. And I have yet to design that one, but I have a vision in my head, so hopefully it comes together nicely. So registration for this ends on September 3rd, and I will post a link in the description to where you can find more information on this. All right. So Paper Pumpkin, if you are not familiar with Paper Pumpkin, it is Stampin' Up's monthly subscription kit. So every month you get a box of goodies, and they only give you a little peek at what's inside. So they do tell you if it's cards or 3D projects or something else. And it's usually cards. However, on occasion, they do switch things up. So this month you get the contents to create 9 cards, so 3 each of 3 different designs, and it's with the name Time for Cake, it's all birthday themed. And then you get instructions. So photo instructions on the back. It shows you the contents of the kit. It lists off the coordinating colors. And then there is a coordinating die set as well. And that die set coordinates with 3 months worth of Paper Pumpkin kits. Okay. So here's a little peek at the contents for this kit. You always get adhesive, so dimensionals and mini glue dots. Sometimes you get tear and tape. You get an ink spot. This month it was Night of Navy. And you get an exclusive stamp set. So the only way to get the stamp set is to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. Otherwise, like, it's not available anywhere else. And this month we've got some candles, some balloons, and some birthday greetings. So we're going to leave that out. We're going to use that. Here's a little peek at the 3 cards. Look at this one. This one's my favorite. I love it. So petal pink, moody mauve, a little bit of wild wheat, and some blue in there. And it's got some champagne foil accents. It's just so pretty. And then this one, it's kind of like a little build your own cake. And then this one is a fun fold. So it's got some champagne twine, and it just opens up like this. How fun is that? So fun. So those are the 3 cards. And then of course you get some coordinating envelopes. There's 3 different patterns that are aligned. And if you love to stretch your kits, these are great to pull apart and cut and use as pattern paper. Okay, the other things that are in the kit. Oh, this month we actually got a bonus stamp set. And sorry, I'm just gonna clear my screen here. We got a bonus stamp set, so a number set with the ST, the TH, the RD, and the ND, so that you can personalize your birthday cards, which is always fun. And then all the contents for the kit. So we've got some hooray stickers, which we're going to leave out. We're going to leave out the champagne twine. And here are the bits and pieces. So everything, it's meant to be quick and easy project. Like, look at, even there's a little fork here. Some little candles, some balloons, some tags and banners, and then the pieces to create your cards. So those are for the first card. Here's another sheet of those things to do your cake, and card bases. And I think, and then of course your envelopes. So those are the contents of this month's kit. So once I create one of each of the cards, I like to go back and use the contents to scrapbook. And in this video, I'm going to create a single page layout. However, I'm going to turn that into a 2-page layout. So you can check out today's blog post a little bit later today, where I will share what I create as the second page. The second page will look very similar to the first page, just a few different elements or accents. Okay, so first of all, let me share what I've pulled out. So I've got kind of one of each of the card bases and one of each of the pieces. I've got a little tray here with some different pieces. Let's see. And I'm going to create this layout for 3 3¾ by 3¾ inch cards. So it's going to hold 3. How did I have this? I think it was like this. And then I've cut down, so that panel that goes behind the fancy fold card, I cut it down to 3¾ by 3¾ I've got one of the card bases that I cut down to 3¾ by 3¾ This is the back of the card with the cake on it. And I cut that down as well, but then I wanted to add some texture because it just looks like plain cardstock. So I took the dotted circles die, 3D die. This is a 6x8 die, so it's one of our larger dies. And I ran that through my embossing machine. Now this die adds so much texture. It is a 3D folder. It actually had a little bit too much texture for what I was looking for. So after I embossed it, I ran it through just with like a cardboard shim just to flatten it a little bit. And I love, because this is a white card base or white core base, you can see a little bit of that white peeking out. And I love the way it looks, and it flattened a little bit, so it's a little bit more subtle. So that's a little tip if you're not looking for something that is that has too much dimension. Okay, I want to pull out another element here so I can share what I did. Pull out this piece here. Okay, so then I was looking at this piece and I thought, oh, you know what? This would make a fabulous border on a layout. So what I did, because it's not quite, if you look, it's a little more than 12, but then you've got this white panel, which wouldn't be a bad thing. You could add your journaling on there and it would be super cute if you wanted to do 12 inches all the way across. But I wanted to step it up a little bit. So what I did was I cut around these 2 candles. So let me share. So see, I kind of fussy cut around that. And so then I cut this bit off and I fussy cut around this. So you can see that there, so that I could stretch it and make it a little bit longer so it goes all the way across. And instead of at the bottom, I'm going to put it across the middle. Okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with that. Let's go ahead and adhere that. Let me slide these things out of the way. And we're going to use our grid mat or our glass mat to find the center. And I'm going to grab my T-square as well. That will help me make sure that it's straight. Okay, so this measures, I think it was just slightly smaller than, yeah, it's 3¾ So 6 inches is the center of my piece. So I'm going to go right about there. So I'm lining it up with about 4 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So I've got that. We're going to bring in our adhesive. Seal adhesive is always my first choice for adding elements to my layout. And it looks like I'm doubling up here. Okay, let's set that one aside. We'll pull in our Seal Plus. Okay, so let's line this up again so that we're at 4 1/8. And this is going to go right to the edge. because remember I have that other little bit. I'm not going to push it down just yet because I want to make sure that I don't hang off the edge, because this is going to go into a page protector. I'm going to slide that underneath just a little bit, just so my candle is not sticking off the edge. So just like that. Now I can push this down and I've got this fun border. Now, if you look closely, you can see the seam here. Actually, you guys probably can't see it on camera, but if I bring it up a little closer, you can see a seam, but you can also see where the score lines are. That's not a big deal. I have an idea to cover up this seam, so that one won't be as visible. But when you're flipping through the album and you're looking at your pages, you're not really looking at those little details, so they won't be noticed. Okay, so let's bring our white layers back with this. These are meant to be photo placeholders. What I did do, just so that you could see them on the page, is I took a finger dauber or a sponge dauber with some Night of Navy ink, and I just went around the edges just so that they would be noticeable on the page. And we're going to have two of our photos up here, and then one of these pieces up here. And then we're going to do this and a third photo down here. So we're going to go ahead and adhere these. Again, I'm going to use my grid mat. We'll stick the center one on first. And we're going to line it up again with the 4 1/8 inch mark and about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. And then we'll do this guy. So I'm leaving about 1/8 of an inch space in between the two layers. And our embossed piece. So this layout is actually going to come together really quickly. Okay, and then we'll rotate this around and we'll do the same thing at the bottom. Put our middle piece on first. And I want to turn this into a 2-page spread, because when you have birthday photos, you tend to have lots of birthday photos. So it's nice to be able to have somewhere to put them. Let's move this up just a little bit. There we go. My son's birthday is coming up, and I guess this does have pink in it, but I guess it could be used, but it feels a little bit more feminine. So I probably won't use this for his birthday. All right, and we'll put this last layer on here. Okay, so now that's the base of our layer, or our layout. Okay, so fun. All right, so now we're gonna do a bit of stamping. So I've got some white cardstock. So a scrap of white cardstock. I'm gonna bring that in, and I'm gonna grab a few of these candles. So these candles, you can use them as is, but there is a stamp that you can use to stamp right on here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use Night of Navy ink, which again is the color that comes in this month's kit. I just like to use my full-size ink pads. So we're going to take this and stamp the candle on each one of these. And I might add extra ones of these. I might add a couple extra. We'll see. Okay, and then while I have it out, I'm going to stamp one on here. While I have the blue, there's also two other sizes of candles with different patterns. So this one is striped and polka dots. This larger one is just polka dots. And then the medium size one is kind of like little, almost like little starbursts. So I'm going to stamp one of each of those. And then there's a little flame that you can use, or like to signify the light from the candle. So I'm going to use some wild wheat, which is the yellow that's in this kit, and stamp this on here. So these are stamped, these are embossed in rose gold foil. So if you had some rose gold embossing powder, that would be really pretty to kind of mimic that. But I'm going to use yellow because I don't have any rose gold foil, embossing powder. So, and then these three pieces will get cut out. So I've gone ahead and I fussy cut those. Got them here in my little dish. So I've got those fussy cut. I'll save these. Maybe I'll use those on the second page. All right, so we've got all of our candles. Now I pulled out some of the extra pieces. So this was left over, I believe, from this piece when I cut this. I also pulled out the banner. I pulled out these strips. I cut a piece of cake from the card base. I've got my fork, I've got a tag, and I've got the 3 balloons. Okay, so now we're going to decorate. So I'm thinking the cake will go down here with the fork, and these 3 pieces are meant to decorate the cake. So we'll put those down there. And then the balloons will go up here with the banner. Okay, I want to stamp something on here. So let's have a look at what we've got for stamps. We've got It's Time for Cake, Make a Wish. Make a Wish might be cute, but your tag needs to go this way. I really want my tag to stand up. Celebrate. We could do Make a Wish and do it separately. Let's try that. It's photopolymer, so it would be easy enough to do. So I'm going to grab a block, and I'm going to grab my Native Navy marker. And another scrap of white. Actually, maybe I'm going to grab my Moody Mauve marker as well. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp Wish. So I'm going to ink up just the word Wish. That's what's so great about our Stampin' Write markers. These are water-based, so you can use them on your stamps, and you can ink up just a portion of your stamps. They don't always work the best with photopolymer. It works so much better with red rubber, but we're going to give this a shot. See. I'll huff on that and then stamp that down. Okay, that's not too bad. And then I'm going to clean this. And I'm just going to stamp off on a scrap piece of paper here. Let's do the back of this. Make sure there's no residue. And then on this piece, I'm going to ink up the word Make. This doesn't look like it's adhering super well. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab some washi tape. Here's another way that you can mask. I'm going to grab some washi tape. And we're going to mask it and then ink it with our navy ink because I want it to be nice and bold. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see that the ink is kind of starting to pool and separate. I'm going to take this, I'm going to cover over that. And then also on this side. And then we'll grab our old olive ink. We'll ink this up. Now that's much better inked. We'll peel that off. That's important because you don't want this big navy blob on your project. I'll give it a huff and make sure this is straight. And I'm going to stamp this down right there. Okay, so I've got just the word make. I'm going to clean that again. Grab some more washi tape. You can also use Post-it notes. You don't have to use washi tape. And this time I'm going to block off everything except the word A. Actually, I could probably ink it just like this. All right, and then we'll peel this off. And we'll stamp the word A right here. So this is a great tip to remember when you're trying to fit something onto a smaller area. And then this piece we're going to fussy cut. So I'm just going to quickly cut around this, leaving a little bit of a white border. And when I fussy cut, I love using our snips because they're nice and fine. And I move the cardstock, not the scissors, and you get a smoother cut. So this is a pretty fine word, but I think it'll look really cute popped up. Okay, I'll go around the top. So how is everybody's summer going? Ours has been busy. We've been working on a small little home reno project. We have this area by our back door that it's meant to be a closet, but it doesn't have a door on it. So we took out the rod and the shelves and we put up some shiplap, and I've stained some shelves, and we're going to add in a bench, so kind of have a little drop zone when we come in the back door. It's coming along. We're hoping that we can finish it this weekend. But between that and then this past weekend, I was out in Hinton with some friends crafting. Look how fun that looks. I love it. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. And then, yeah, just, I don't know, it just seems like everything, so much going on this summer. Okay, we've done a few little road trips, which has been fun. I'm going to add this little strip across here. About, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. And then this piece I'm going to add over top. This is another strip from, I think it went with one of, I think it was with the cake card, and it had Make-A-Wish stamped on it. And then this, I'm going to pop this little bit out and put some of this beautiful rose gold twine through it. So I'm just going to fold it in half. Actually, that's probably a little long. Fold it in half and then feed it through. Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. If you guys are Paper Pumpkin subscribers, have you received your Paper Pumpkin kit yet? I got mine yesterday. I had something completely different planned for today's live, But when kit was delivered, I thought, oh, you know what? I'll do what I had planned. I'll do that next week. Okay, so this is going to go on here like that. We're going to use some dimensionals for that. I think this is my favorite live that I do every month, is when my paper pumpkin kit comes in and I get to plan a scrapbook layout. But I'm so excited to bring back scrapbooking classes in September. All right, and then this piece is going to go on here. This, because it's so fine, I am going to use just regular glue. So just multi-purpose glue. And we'll put this across here like that. And then our candles, I think I'm going to, let's see, I think I want them tucked underneath here. Yeah, I think that's cute. I like it. Okay, and I want them popped up. So I'm going to use a dimensional here, just at the top of each one of them, underneath the flame. And then I'm going to use flat adhesive on the bottom, just so that I can tuck them underneath. I'll just put a little bit of adhesive there. I'm going to take my paper piercing tool and just kind of, and I don't want them to be straight. I'm going to put them at a little bit of an angle. Eldana, hello. Thanks for joining me. All right. And that, look how cute that is. Love it. Okay, and then I pulled out these. These are the Opal Rounds assortment. These, I believe, are part of the Mediterranean suite. Or citrus blooms, I can't remember what it's called. Mediterranean blooms, I think. And there's navy, there's yellow, and there's white in here. And I thought that they would work really well with this collection. The yellow is not wheat, but I thought doing this yellow kind of right in the center as kind of the flame, I thought that would look really cool. I like that. All right. Okay, so we've got one panel done. Let's work on this guy here. So like I said, I fussy cut the cake out of the card front. And then these pieces are meant to be used on here to signify the layers of the cake. So we're going to just kind of repeat that. I'm going to put that on here like that. And then we'll put this one on the bottom, and then we'll center the middle one. So in September, our new scrapbook line is supposed to be released. We haven't gotten too much information on that yet. I'm so excited to see it. I'm a huge scrapbooker, so I have been anticipating this for a very long time. Okay, we're going to pop this up. Peel off these dimensionals. And we're going to put this on here like that. And then we'll add our fork. I'm going to use some mini glue dots for this fork instead of glue. I'll just put a couple on here. I love that in our paper pumpkin kits, they give you the adhesive as well. Basically, everything that you need is in the kit. You simply need to throw in a block and maybe a pair of scissors, and you are good to go. It's great for traveling. It's a great thing to do with kids or grandkids. Just such a fabulous project every month. And you can subscribe monthly, or you can purchase a single month, 3 month, 6 month, or 12-month kit. And for the 6 and the 12-month kits, I believe you save a little bit of money as well, which is nice. All right, we're going to pop that up there. We'll add dimensional to these. So you can see how quick and easy it is to scrapbook with these, because all the elements are already taken care of. They're all stamped, cut, die cut, printed, whatever, however you want to call it. It's all done for you. So it just makes for scrapbooking really quick and easy. All right, the other thing in here, there is a happy birthday stamp. Where is my, here it is. So, and it's kind of curved. It's meant to fit right on this little tag. So we're going to use that. Stamp it in some navy. And we'll pop that up using some dimensionals as well. Use some mini ones here. That's going to go on there just like that. And here comes our garbage truck. And then I want to add a little bow with our rose gold twine, just to repeat. So we've got twine here. I'm going to put twine up here. And then on my second page, I will also do some twine. Oh. I'll pop that little mini glue dot right there, and then stick this on here. Okay, and we still need to add a title. And we need to add these candles, but I'm going to hold off adding those candles for now. And I am going to bring in my title. So I wanted to do Hip Hip Hooray as my title, because I want to use this, this hooray. So what I did is I took our Alphabet a la Mode stamp set. So this stamps, or not stamp set, die set. And I die cut Hip Hip Hooray. And I've got adhesive sheets on the back so that it turns them into stickers to make it easy. I did it from Petal Pink, which is one of the colors that coordinates with this kit. But when I put this on here, because this is such a busy background, it really gets lost. So my solution to that is almost always a piece of vellum, which unfortunately we don't carry anymore. But hopefully you have some in your stash. And that just makes that title pop just a little bit more. So we've got that, and I'm going to flag the ends of that. But first, let's stick these down, because I might want to trim that this piece is just a little bit longer than probably what I need. So I'm going to peel off the backing. Using our adhesive sheets just makes it so easy. You don't have to worry about getting gluey fingers or messy fingers. Just turns them into stickers, so you can just peel and stick. And Shauna, I will definitely share the second page. Actually, I think I'm going to quickly create it while I have all the stuff out, and it will be in today's blog post. So the blog post won't go up until a little bit later, and I will link it in the description here once it does go live. But yeah, because I've got some pieces kind of set aside to use, and I know what I'm going to do, so it shouldn't take me long to whip it up. Okay. One more. Okay, so now I just want to see where I want to put this. This is super fine. I'd love to pop it up, but it's really, really fine. So what I could do, because I believe it matches up exactly with the Every Celebration dies. Let's just see if it does. There is a Hooray die in here. Yes, it does. So what I could do, if I really wanted it popped up, oh my gosh, that's loud. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. If I really wanted that popped up, I could die cut several of the dies and just layer them, and that would give the illusion of it being popped up. I could also try die cutting it with our foam adhesive sheets. So sticking a piece of cardstock on here and then die cutting it. It is a pretty fine word, so I'm not sure how well that would work. But I think, I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I put this right over top? I like that idea, but is it legible? Is that legible? You can see the hooray. I think you can still figure it out. I don't know, I kind of like the look of that. What do you guys think? Well, I'm going to wait for your guys' response. I know there's a little bit of a delay. In the meantime, I'm just going to trim this a little bit shorter on both sides. I just lightly put it on there. I didn't press down, so I can remove it. And then we're going to cut. So I'm just creating like a little flag. And to do that, the easiest way I find to do it is just to snip up the middle and then go from either end. And then you get a relatively even, I mean, it's not perfect unless you get that snip right in the middle. Okay. It looks like, yeah, you guys agree with me. You like it. Okay, so we're going to push that down. All right, this I am going to pop up. Now, vellum, because you can see through, you have to be very careful and strategic where you put your adhesive. So I'm going to put it behind my letters, which are super fine. So I'm just going to take the edge of my dimensionals and trim and just pop a little piece of dimensional in behind some of these letters. And I'm going to stagger, so some at the top, some at the bottom. I'll just do that for a few of these letters. It's not going to be handled, it's going to be in an album, so it doesn't have to be, you don't have to worry about having too much on there. Okay, and we'll peel this back. Okay, now do I want to put it in the middle or do I want to put it, no, I think I want it in the middle. All right, that's going to go on here. Like that. Oh, I love it. Okay, and then these candles I'm going to pop up using some dimensionals. I'm going to add one behind the flames, and then again, just do the same thing that I did for the title and just cut a few strips. Okay, so remember this seam over here? This is really the only part that bothers me is just this little hint of a yellow candle in behind that kind of gets cut off. So that's really what I wanted to cover over was that one there. And then, actually I forgot, I want to add a candle to my cake. So I'm going to peel off this dimensional. And it's sticking to my finger here. And we're going to add this to our cake. And then we've got one more. see, where do we want to add it? Do I want to have it coming off of here or maybe over here? Feels like there's a lot going on over here. Or maybe I want to add it, just put it on flat, just like that. Almost like an exclamation point. You could turn it around and it could be an exclamation point. Okay, we're going to peel off these dimensionals and I'm going to put it on flat. I'll use a mini glue dot or a couple. All right, and then the last thing I want to do is just figure out if I want to add. Oh, I love that. Love it. Okay, do I want to add some more bling or do I want to leave it as is? So we've got some yellow bling down here. I'm thinking we need some bling up here. I think I'm going to do the clear. So we're going to add just a bit like that. And I think that's it. I love how it turned out. So fun. It's so fun using paper pumpkin kits to do some memory keeping, get some layouts done. And I used so many elements, which is really nice because to be honest, I don't need more cards. I make a lot of cards. So I don't need a ton of cards. So I'm going to use a lot more of the elements and finish off a second page, and I will be sure to share that with you. And if you live in Canada and are not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin with me so that you can scrapbook along with me every month. All right. So you'll find a link to where you can subscribe in the description. And if you are a scrapbooker or are learning or would like to learn to scrapbook or would like to attend regular classes, whether you are local or away, I have monthly scrapbooking classes starting up in September. So check out my events page for that. I would love to have you join me. All right. Thanks so much and have a fabulous weekend. Bye, guys.